Cornwall's Memory Cafes, the Volunteers' Voices. Part 2. What's the funniest or most heartwarming moment you've experienced while volunteering?
There are so many.
So many, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely so many. Maybe one of the ones, it's not probably what you're expecting, but a guy wasn't here, but his wife was dementing seriously, and she went into a home and she died. Now, one of our volunteers met this guy at the home with their two wives, and he said, "Why don't you come along and just see what the memory cafe is?" And after 3 weeks, he said he wasn't going to have a cake or a cup of tea because he wasn't paying anything towards it. And we said, "Why don't you become a volunteer?" And that absolutely made his life for him.
Yeah, we have lots of laughs. There are some wonderful people here, and what I love about this group is we've got one man and he can't communicate except by singing, and just to sit with him while he sings is such a joy, and he brings joy to everybody around him when he does sing.
Oh, I have my favourites. And like grandchildren, you shouldn't have your favourites, but I do. And one lady, when she first came, she was very cheery, loved the music, get up and dance. Then I saw her dip, and when her daughter started to bring her again, she came back to life, and I thought, that's it, we've got her back again.
We had a couple who recently this year celebrated I'm sure it was something like their 75th wedding anniversary. That might be a bit, it was definitely a plus 50, but I'm sure it was their 75th. A lovely little couple that come. And it's very funny because we're not sure exactly which one is the actual sufferer and which one's the carer. We think it might be a case of they're both sufferers and they're caring after each other.
Well, I used to be in the Scouts as a guy, and when my boys were in there. And we used to take them to chai ponds quite a bit over at Newlyn, the old folks' home. And it was really funny and comical there because the old ladies would say to some of the men there, "Don't you go telling your jokes, they're really rude. These boys are, these young Scouts." And a week or two ago, I told a short story. I okayed it first, and it was a little bit double entendre, yeah? But there was a great applause and laughter.
There's been quite a few moments actually. You sit and talk to people and they can tell you about the previous years, the teen years. It's just finding individual facts to think about everybody, and they can all tell you. You may not be able to tell you what I've had for lunch, but they can tell you about their past, and I think it's just spending time and listening to them.
I mean, it's lovely meeting, it's like the lady that comes from the home, and seeing all the same faces, and they get to know you and you get to know them. But that's the nicest part, the fact that people can recognise you and you can recognise them.
What is lovely is so many of them say that they've made friends while they're here, because often on a person's journey as a carer, you lose your friends.
Yeah.
And to have the friendship here, and then they support each other outside of the cafe, wow. They do little coffee groups, or they go to people's houses.
I just enjoyed it and enjoyed him and seeing people enjoying themselves.
We had one gentleman who was my neighbour up at Trevenham came along, and steadily got worse, like they do, don't they? So he used to come here with his wife, and then I would take him out of a Thursday as a bit of a treat. We'd have a penny's pie up the road here, and he was really into the church, so we used to visit a church. We went to Fiach, and in the car park was this brand new Audi, I'll never forget it, and he was looking at it. Next minute, he opens the door, and he's in there. Well, you know what it's like with some of them. Once they've got a mind, they're not going to come out, are they? Well, we got him out in the end, and we went in the church, come back again, and he wanted to go in again. And when we got home to his wife, he said, "I want a red car, get rid of that black one."
We have people here who have no dementia at all. They come because they like coming. They're elderly, and some people they've come here with their partners have died, and they still come here. So it's a mix, and they need each other as much as we need them.
Well, we've got today two recently widowed ladies in the group who both came here with their husbands who both had dementia. And it's just lovely that they feel that they are come here and they're safe and they're amongst friends.
I think it's to see a Memory Cafe volunteer talk about the Memory Cafe as somewhere that they really were scared of the idea of volunteering at, and to see that person blossom into such an able volunteer who could bring people together and have great conversations.
Well, Lewis is one. I mean, he's been here for years, he's really good, and he's a good sort of steady person. He's hard of hearing, he's had problems with his hearing aids for ever since I can remember, but he's always here and he's always got a smile on his face no matter what.
Again, it's the music actually. You've got Alan there, the guy in the green shirt. We discovered by pure chance that we both like a particular song from the 1950s. And we had a lady that comes in roughly once every three or 4 months. She's a vocalist, guitarist. She sings all of her regular songs, and Alan and I thought, well, we're going to sing our song, and we sang that particular song, and now it's part of her repertoire now.
I think the heartwarming moment, I can always remember a chap who's actually passed away now, but he brought his wife in the end to the cafe. She didn't want to come. She hated the thought of coming, but he dragged her along. And she finally came, and it got to the stage when he was cancelling all other appointments because he just wanted to come to cafe.
So many heartwarming moments, and the majority is with the music and seeing them really enjoying themselves.
Almost all, I think, really, not almost all, really enjoy it and like to come back. And that's heartwarming, the thought that you're providing something that people want to come to.
To see people enjoying themselves in whatever form that they can enjoy themselves in, to the extent that you've given them something like a day out, a cup of tea, a chat.
You know, the fact that people have kept coming year after year sort of speaks for itself, really, that it is certainly well used and people really seem to need it.
Why do you think memory cafes are important for our community?
It's the spirit of being here, the spirit of everybody on a Monday afternoon.
I think the carers can feel very isolated, and I think it does the carers as much good as it does the clients. A group of men have got together and formed a support group, and they advise each other on what would be the best next step to take, and I think that's absolutely fantastic because men don't team up very often, do they?
No. It is somewhere where people understand. We do as a team, not in a nursing capacity, but we hopefully pick up on their needs. It's somewhere for carers to feel they're not alone.
For me, I personally see carers getting a lot more out of memory cafes than sufferers. It gives carers a break, it gives carers who are potentially very lonely and isolated someone to talk to, somewhere different to see.
It gets people out, it gets people understanding, and we also get a lot of people here that do things like the ukuleles as opposed to ukuleles.
Yeah.
And there's a group of about 15 of them coming, and they're marvellous. They get them singing the old songs, and they give their services for free, and it's absolutely marvellous.
I think it's as much for the carers as for the people with the dementia to know that they can come and whether it's a bit of respite for them or they can join in and talk to other people. There's people come and help them to find out what's available, what help's available to them, because I imagine sometimes it's quite isolating.
Because it's somewhere for them to go, the carers as well as the people that are suffering. And it just gives them a break because they'll join in things and they can get a break as well and talk to other people.
And I think you just said it.
Well, I think it's just the support and for us to know we can signpost people and get that help for them, at least start them on that path. But and also that they know that they can talk to us, because sometimes they don't want to talk to their families to let them know how bad things are because they think they're being disloyal.
I think, look at them, they're all having fun. I mean, where else can they go and have fun, and the carers enjoying it too and seeing them enjoy themselves.
Well, I think for a start, for the carers, a lot of the carers like to stay, and it's an afternoon they get to have. We have our entertainment, like, choirs, singing, whatever, quizzes and trips out, so they can get involved. So they wouldn't do that because they'd be afraid to leave, who they've got. But it's putting something back to the people. A lot of these people, they only come out of a Tuesday. That's their day out.
Well, it was important to Sheila because she would come here and she could actually talk to people in those days. And my thoughts are, it's for the community and by the community.
And that's really what it's all about. It's about providing support and friendship.
Getting out of the house, meeting like-minded people or people who've got the same problems, and the helpers that come with them, husbands and wives come together, so the helpers of the couples getting to meet the other helpers.
I think they're important because I think that it gives people something to focus on. They can get help and support. One of the volunteers in there is just putting out our books and things for the cafe that we've got, brochures and things like that, and she'll go and see people and talk to them. We're not only here for fun, well we are, but we're here for fun, laughter, but we're also here as a support.
It's really because people with dementia can't always mix with other people, and this brings them together, and for carers as well, and it gives carers a break.
Well, it's so many people who are otherwise isolated. It's difficult for people with memory problems to go to normal sort of social events because a lot of people don't understand and won't make the adjustments necessary to include people. I think it's inclusion, everybody wants to be included, don't they?
People who will probably be sat at home doing nothing, or even their carers trying to find something that is rewarding for them to do, more than, yes, it's good to go for a walk, but it's also good. The more you integrate these people, the more they are likely to respond.
Well, I think it's a good chance for people to get out and mix when a lot of them live on their own and, don't really get as much of a social life.
Yeah.
And, they socialise here, they meet their friends and get to know each other. And we go on trips and things.
They're essential for our communities on a number of levels. I think they're essential for people living with memory loss to know that there's hope. There's the hope that we can continue living with our memory losses for as long as possible, supported by our community of friends. 2 hours or an hour may not seem much to us in our busy lives, but it's the sense of to only have 2 hours in every couple of weeks where you can relax because somebody else is engaged in a conversation. That's a remarkable thing. And I think for the community generally, they know that if they need to go somewhere for advice and guidance, the Memory Cafe is always going to be there in this case, every second and fourth Saturday. So I think that's what the Memory Cafes do for their communities.
My name is Piper, I'm 8 years old, and my mummy is a dementia advisor. That means she helps people with dementia and she's really kind. I love making things, especially badges, so I made some lovely badges for the lovely volunteers. It's to say a big thank you for everything you do. I hope you like them and remember they were made with lots of love.
We do it because we love it.
Yeah.
So
always making me well up.
Even got my grandson roped in now.
Did
He's down
you?
here.
We've got another lady, you'll see her in a minute, she's 102, and I said, have you managed to live this long? Well, my husband died 49 years ago, but she's got short memories, but she tells stories of the olden days.
Yeah.
Saw the first car in Brieg, remember that? And saw the first man on the moon.
Wow.
Brilliant, isn't it?
You won't want, trust me, you won't want to hear me sing.
final question.
Don't ask me how old I am.
Why?
This film was made possible thanks to the generosity of the volunteers and all involved.